What is up? Greetings, friends, and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality, to your well-being, to your health, and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That is why we are here every day on the Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, no miracle at all, simply standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may say that's a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health, nutrition, prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, we want to hear from you. Our number is 855-660-4261, 855-660-4261. We welcome your phone calls. Try to get on board early. The phone lines do fill up quickly, 855-660-4261. If you have questions about the longevity products or you want to purchase any of the longevity products, you can call the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com, and take a look at our shopping cart. You can also click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page and start yourself a longevity business. For a one-time $10 fee, you can enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. You can make a little bit of money. You can help spread the word about the power and the importance of a good nutritional supplement program, and you can get your products at the wholesale price. That's all for a one-time $10 fee. Click on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page, or you can talk to the folks at the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. All right, so we are talking about protein. We'll be talking about protein for a little bit now. In terms of bone building, in terms of anti-aging, in terms of muscle building, in terms of building in general, yesterday we said protein was about nitrogen, the element nitrogen. Most nutritionists will tell you there's three types of macronutrients as distinguished from micronutrients, micronutrients being vitamins and minerals and trace or accessory nutrients. Most nutritionists will tell you there's three kinds of macronutrients, proteins, fats, and sugars. But fats and sugars are really both kind of carbohydrates. They actually are carbohydrates. So in essence, you really just have protein and carbs. And if you want to further simplify macronutrition, protein is essentially carbohydrate, except it has that little element of nitrogen. Protein can be thought of as a nitrogen carbohydrate, a nitrogenated carbohydrate. This is why the body can obtain energy from protein, albeit less efficiently and more slowly than it gets energy from sugar or fat. And as we said yesterday, this is why you can lose weight very effectively. You can suppress your appetite very effectively. You can be very satisfied while you're losing your weight by simply eating more protein. This little nitrogen piece that's stuck onto the sugar or the fat or stuck onto the carbohydrate makes processing protein a much slower affair. It makes it more complicated than carbohydrate processing, and that means you're going to be satisfied much longer if your body is working at breaking down protein. If it's digesting the relatively simpler fat or relatively simpler sugar molecule, it's not going to have to work as hard, and you're not going to be as satisfied. This understanding of nitrogen is something that bodybuilders and weightlifters take very, very seriously. And as we said many times on this program, we're all bodybuilders because we're all building our bodies. Just being alive is being a bodybuilder. So if a weightlifter or a bodybuilder or an athlete is concentrating on something in the world of nutrition, it's something we want to pay attention to. Athletes will call this understanding or this how the body works with nitrogen balance. And this refers to the relationship between positive nitrogen and negative nitrogen. Positive nitrogen balance means having nitrogen available for building, for growth, and repair. Conversely, negative nitrogen or negative nitrogen balance means losing nitrogen, not having it available for building and for growth and repair. If you're recovering from surgery, you got degenerative disease, you're just aging, or you got some accelerated aging going on, you're probably going to be in a negative nitrogen balance. And if you're an athlete and you're a bodybuilder, you're lifting weights, you're building muscles, you're healthy, or you're young and vital and strong, more than likely you're going to be in a positive nitrogen balance. Technically, there's actually 3 types of nitrogen balance. There's nitrogen loss, which is aging and degenerative disease and trauma and wounding and surgery and general poor health. Sleep deprivation, by the way, can also result in a negative nitrogen balance or nitrogen loss. And sometimes when people first start an exercise program, they get all excited, they go into overtraining, and then they can also go into a negative nitrogen balance. You can also have an equal nitrogen status. You can be losing as much as you can be gaining. And, of course, you can also have a positive nitrogen balance, which is where you want to be. You want to be hanging on to your nitrogen so you can be using it. Nitrogen balance is measured by something called BUN or BUN. That stands for blood urea nitrogen. You might have seen it on your blood panels. BUN, or blood urea nitrogen, is a measurement of how much nitrogen is being lost. BUN can also be elevated, not just if you're losing nitrogen, but BUN can also be elevated if you got kidney disease. In fact, this is the main reason why doctors will check your blood urea nitrogen or BUN levels to see if your kidney is clearing out the nitrogen effectively. So an elevated BUN can be a sign that your kidneys aren't working as well as they should. It could be something associated with diabetes. It can also be something associated with an elevated protein intake, as well as problems with getting rid of protein. So BUN can mean either you're eating a lot of protein, or it can mean that you've got problems excreting protein. In the case of a non-athlete bodybuilder who's eating a normal amount of protein, who has no issues with kidney disease, if he has an elevated BUN, chances are there's something percolating, there's something going on inside the body that's causing your body to break down protein. It could be surgery, aging, degenerative disease. All of these can lead to an elevated BUN. BUN, blood urea nitrogen. There's another measurement, something called the creatinine levels. Creatinine is found in muscle tissue, and when your creatinine goes up, that can be an indicator that you're losing muscle protein, that muscles are breaking down. Both the BUN and the creatinine measure are used for primarily to measure kidney function, because the kidneys are the organs that are responsible for clearing nitrogen. If you go into some kidney problems, your BUN and your creatinine levels could go up. But it doesn't have to be kidney problems. You can get elevations in BUN and creatinine from degenerative disease, from trauma, from surgery, from wounding, or just from eating a lot of protein. And if you're supplementing with creatine can be converted into creatinine, and then you can also have elevations in your creatinine levels. Because creatinine and BUN are typically used by medical professionals to measure kidney function, and because elevation in these readings can be associated with kidney disease, and because high protein diets can also cause elevations in BUN and creatinine, physicians will tell you that high protein diets can be burdensome on the kidney. That's because they're used to seeing these high levels being associated with kidney disease. Now, there may be some logic here, however faulty as it may be, but the problem with this kind of reasoning, in my opinion, is that while it's true that your excess nitrogen from elevated protein intake is going to be cleared by the kidneys, if you're healthy, that should not be a problem. Yes, it's true, an elevated BUN or creatinine can potentially be associated with kidney disease, but it could just be measuring high protein intake in a perfectly healthy body with perfectly healthy kidneys. Just because you got a high BUN or a high creatinine level doesn't necessarily mean you got kidney problems if you're eating a lot of protein. So I wouldn't be depriving myself of protein based on some physician telling me, oh, if you eat a lot of protein, that can be hard on your kidneys. You know what, folks? Your kidneys are designed to clear nitrogen. It's not going to be hard on your kidneys to make sure that you're getting a good, decent, high amount of protein in your diet. All right, got more to say when we come back from our break. We'll take your phone calls as well. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're
Hey, everybody, Jason Lewis here with another great idea from JasonLewisTeam.com. Now, how would you like an energy drink that's actually good for you? That's right, one that not only gives you an afternoon pick-me-up, but that's loaded with the most important antioxidants for reducing the damage from stress. It's called Pollen Burst, and it's a natural burst of energy that lasts for hours. Now, most energy drinks rely on a massive dose of caffeine, sugar, or even vitamin B. Pollen Burst takes a more balanced approach, and that's why I like it. I also love the fact that Pollen Burst has plenty of vitamin D and green tea extract. This is the best energy drink I've ever tried. So trust me, you'll not only like it better than the others, you'll love the way it's individually packaged for freshness as well. They've got these on-the-go stick packs. They're great. Pollen Burst. It's available at JasonLewisTeam.com or simply call 1-855-310-TEAM for a natural burst of energy. It's Pollen Burst at JasonLewisTeam.com or 1-855-310-TEAM.
Mike Stenerson from Midas Resources. At no time in history have precious metals been more important, certainly not in my 22 years in the industry. The dollar has lost over 90% of its value in the last 60 years. No fiat currency has ever survived the government printing presses. Ours is not immune. The time is now to be proactive. 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Anything tied to the dollar is at risk. CDs, annuities, 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, you name it, so decide. Do you want to leave a legacy of wealth or debt for your family? The choice is yours. Call me at 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 116. Be proactive, not reactive. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 116.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
We are America's largest independently owned communications network, GCN.
We are back on the Brightside. Thank you for being here, friends. We do have a line open for you at 855-660-4261. We'll get your calls here in our next segment. For you guys who want to join the Brightside Ben team, help start yourself a longevity business and help spread the word about the importance and power of a good nutritional supplement program, head over to brightsideben.com and click on the Join the Team link or give the Brightside Ben phone team a call at 866-735-2470 and ask them about the Beyond Tangy Tangerine if you haven't tried this stuff yet. It's $50 a canister if you're like like most folks, you'll notice results within 1 or 2 doses, results like appetite suppression and weight loss and a drop in blood pressure. A lot of folks get off their medications by using the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. It doesn't have the full amounts of everything you need, but it's a great way to make sure that you're getting your nutrients in the middle of the day when you'd ordinarily be snacking. It tastes great. It's great for kids. It goes wonderfully in your smoothie. You can make ice pops out of it. You can bake cookies with it. You can do a lot of things with this stuff. Beyond Tangy Tangerine for $50 a canister. What are you waiting for? If you haven't given this stuff a shot yet, you can find out all about it on my website, BrightsideBen.com, or by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. Okay, so we're talking about protein, and the main way they measure the nitrogen levels, the BUN and creatinine, can sometimes, when you have elevated BUN and creatinine, you can sometimes get confused with, you can either, your doctor feel like, oh, well, you got kidney problems because the kidneys are supposed to be clearing nitrogen, and indeed an elevated BUN and elevated creatinine can potentially be indicative of a problem with your kidneys, but it can also be indicative of just plain old eating a lot of protein. So don't worry about an elevated BUN or an elevated creatinine if you have healthy kidneys and you're simply eating a lot of protein. It can just mean that your body's not using all the protein, all of the protein that it's getting in. I personally would prefer people to, myself included, to err on the side of extra protein rather than not getting enough. And I sure would not be depriving myself of this super, super important anti-aging, pro-growth, pro-repair substance protein simply because I had an elevated BUN or elevated creatinine. The main point here is nitrogen is important stuff, and you really don't want to be losing it. You want to be keeping it so it can be used. If you're an athlete or a bodybuilder, a certain amount of nitrogen is going to be lost as you exercise, especially if you're doing some serious weightlifting or serious muscle building or serious running or something where you're breaking down muscle. Remember, if you're building muscle, you got to break down muscle first. Build up requires breakdown. This is how the body works. Breaking down muscle turns on the build-up process. So muscle has to be broken down before it can be built up, and the breakdown can cause a temporary elevation in nitrogen excretion. That is a temporary elevation in BUN or creatinine levels. However, for the most part, you're going to want to be holding on to your nitrogen so that it can be used. Health and wellness, anabolism, building, growing, anti-aging is all associated with having nitrogen in the body, and this is why serious bodybuilders and weightlifters are going to be concerned about nitrogen retention. And nobody's saying that you have to be a serious athlete or a serious bodybuilder to be healthy, but at the same time, being healthy is a lot more in common with bodybuilding than not being healthy. Being healthy is building a body. Not necessarily bodybuilding, but being healthy is building a body. All right, so protein, in my opinion, the major player in weight loss. The key step to losing weight is to increase your protein. Yesterday I was kind of being a little facetious. I said, try doing 1.5 to 2 scoops of protein powder. One World Whey is the best one going. A whey protein powder. We'll talk about whey protein here in the next couple of days. Just for an experiment, do a scoop and a half or a couple of scoops of whey protein every few hours and watch how full you are. Watch how satisfied you are. You're probably not even going to be able to do your third dose. By the time you've had two scoop doses, you're going to have a lot of protein, and you're sure not going to feel like snacking. Now, I'm not saying you want to go crazy on your protein, but just for demonstration, just to show yourself how powerful this stuff is as an appetite suppressant, for a couple of doses, maybe half a day or so, 3 or 4 doses, 2, 3, 4 doses of protein. Do an excessive amount, maybe 45 to 60 grams. That's 1.5 scoops to 2 scoops, and watch what happens. You're going to be amazingly satisfied. You're going to be amazingly full. In fact, you might be too full. Back off and find out a good spot for you, and that's basically the amount of protein you want to have. Back off to where you don't feel stuffed and full, but where you don't feel like snacking. And let me tell you something, folks. It's an amazingly healthy way to lose weight. And, as I was saying yesterday, one of the reasons for our obesity epidemic may be because we're not getting enough protein. Protein is really, compared to carbs anyway, protein is really hard to find, good quality protein. And why do you think that is? Price, money, dollars. Protein is expensive. Protein is the most expensive of all the macronutrients. And really good quality protein, that is crazy expensive compared to fat and compared to sugar. That's the biggest complaint people have about whey protein, which is the best protein going. It tends to be expensive. So what? cut your costs somewhere else. In fact, the appetite suppressant effects of protein mean you're going to be spending less money on crappy food. So yeah, you might be spending more on the front end if you get yourself on a good whey protein supplement. It may cost you, I don't know, $1 a dose or something along those lines. So you may be spending more money on the front end, but on the back end, you'll be saving money because you're not going to be snacking as much. You're not going to be eating you're not going to have the food cravings as much during the day, and you're going to be a lot healthier on top of everything else. So while you may cost you a little bit extra on the front end, you're going to be saving money on the back end. By the way, all foods are going to have protein. I love whey protein. I love egg protein. Those are my two favorite sources of protein. Those are the two best sources of protein. But all foods are going to have a little bit of protein in them. Even fruits are going to have a little bit of protein in them. Even an apple is going to give you maybe a half a gram or so of protein. Cheaper protein can be found in beans. You're going to get, of course, protein in crappy meats like McDonald's hamburgers or hot dogs or sausages, and those are pretty easy to find. But the best sources of protein are going to be whey and eggs. And when it comes to eggs, those are pretty darn inexpensive anyway, and they're versatile and they're tasty too. That little nitrogen, it's all about that little nitrogen. That little nitrogen attached to the carbohydrates. That little nitrogen that in essence turns a carb into a protein is a pretty expensive little proposition. It takes a lot of work for nature to stick a nitrogen onto a carb. In fact, sticking a nitrogen onto a carb, something that plants do very effectively, is one of the most miraculous pieces of chemistry in all of nature. It takes a lot of work, however, for a plant to be able to nitrogenate a sugar, and that's what makes protein expensive. That's what makes protein the most expensive of all the nutrients. In the natural world, plants can make protein. Plants can do this nitrogen attaching process, but in the world of industry, in the world of technology, it takes huge factories and lots of powerful and somewhat nasty chemistry to accomplish the same thing that plants do in a tiny millimeter of space. Because nitrogen is so darn important. Because nitrogen is so darn important for everything, really. Nitrogen is just powerful, powerful stuff. For many years, scientists and organic chemists were trying to figure out how to get nitrogen industrially, how to produce nitrogenated compounds industrially. You know, our air, our atmosphere is almost 80% nitrogen, but it's inert nitrogen. It's nitrogen that doesn't do anything. Plants can take that nitrogen and make it active, but in industry, it's very difficult to do. In fact, for many years, this was kind of the industrial chemical holy grail, how to create active nitrogen in an industrial or factory type of setting. All right, I'll tell you what I mean when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to the Brightside on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll be back right after this.
Men who want intimacy and pleasure back in their love life don't ask if, they ask when. So men, spark up your love life, get pleasure and intimacy back, and please your special lady with Epic Nights. Epic Nights is a safe, revolutionary herbal sexual formula for men that combines ancient herbal ingredients and modern science to significantly support stamina, performance, and pleasure. Men, Epic Nights is a proven 100% natural product that works first time, every time, even after consuming alcohol. And you won't hear any of those cliche disclaimers, men, because Epic Nights will not give you unwanted side effects, but Epic Nights will allow you to give your partner what they deserve. Epic Nights is guaranteed as one of the most effective male enhancers on the web, or will refund your purchase 100%. Buy Epic Nights at buyepicnights.com, spelled BUYEPICNIGHTS.com, or call 1-877-330-1120, 877-330-1120. Epic Nights, one pill, one Epic Night.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 200-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
A little right, a little left, but always independent-minded. The Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
Back on the bright side, I'm going to save this story for it's kind of a cool story about how they figured out how to get nitrogen, how to produce nitrogen industrially. Nitrogen is found in the air, in the atmosphere, 77 to 80%, but it's inert. It can't do anything. So for the longest time, this was the holy grail of chemistry, to try to figure out how to get nitrogen, how to activate nitrogen, or do the same thing plants do. Just take nitrogen from the air and figure out a way to make it usable. Take advantage of nitrogen's active properties. Turn inert nitrogen, inert atmospheric nitrogen, into active nitrogen, and this is all described in a cool book called The Alchemy of Air, if you're interested in checking it out. We'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking about protein, the importance of dietary protein for bodybuilding, for anti-aging, for growth and repair, and, of course, for bone building, for osteoporosis, or anti-osteoporosis effects. Okay, 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's take our first phone call of the day. James in Texas. Welcome to the Bright Side. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Ben, I was wondering if somebody increases healthy fats in their diet, is there a way for the body to use that fat to supply carbohydrates and protein to the body?
Negatory. It'll supply carbs. Fat is a type of carbohydrate, and fat will get broken down into sugar. It can be used for energy depending on the type of fat that you're using. But protein is a whole different animal because of that little element of nitrogen. And as we'll talk about tomorrow, it's very difficult in nature for nitrogen to get attached to a carbohydrate. Plants can do it, and in the industry it takes big factories, but your body isn't going to be able to do that. So if you want protein, you got to eat protein. You're not going to get it from any other foods, just protein foods.
Now, are vegetables going to supply all the necessary protein versus
small
animal
amounts?
sources?
Small amounts, but not in a concentrated fashion. If you're a vegetarian, you can get some protein from veggies. Like I was saying earlier, everything has protein in it. An apple's going to get you some protein. A piece of celery is going to get you some protein, but it's not going to really get you substantial amounts of protein, and you really do need to have substantial amounts of protein to enjoy their benefits. So if you're a vegetarian and you're not eating meat, or if you're a vegan and you're not doing eggs or dairy and you're not doing meat, you have to be pretty careful about getting your protein. Beans, soy, of course, is a good source of protein. Nuts can be a good source of protein. We'll talk about some sources of protein here in the next few days as we get into talking more about protein. But it's really tough. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, that's one of the biggest problems with veganism, in my opinion, is getting enough protein. What vegans end up doing is they end up eating a lot of grains, because there's a very interesting relationship between sugar and protein. As I was saying earlier, your body, it's very easy to get energy from sugar or carbohydrates. It's not so easy to get energy from protein, and this can be used to the advantage of the body. The body takes a long time to derive energy from protein, and while the body is deriving energy from protein, you're satisfied, you're full, you don't feel like eating anymore. Vegans, on the other hand, they got to constantly be eating, because the type of energy they're getting is very quickly burnt or stored, and then they run low energy, so they go get more carbohydrates. So what ends up happening with vegans is they tend to not be so healthy. Now, you can be healthy if you pay a lot of attention to making sure that you're getting your protein from grains and beans and such. But for most vegans, they'll end up eating a lot more carbohydrates than they would otherwise, and that, of course, can cause all kinds of health issues. And you're not going to find a lot of super strong, super healthy vegans or vegetarians, although I'm not going to make a generalization, say never, but it's a lot harder to do it that way. All right,
Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you. I know I'm going to piss some people off with that one, but that's just my experience. I don't see a lot of vegans or vegetarians who look super, super healthy. And not so much vegetarians, because you can still get your protein from whey and eggs if you're a vegetarian. But veganism, and it does have some advantages, certainly, of veganism does, but it's just difficult to get the kind of protein that you need if you're not eating animal products at all, my opinion. I'd like to hear what you have to say. If there's any vegans out there, let me know how you guys are getting your protein. Okay, 855-660-4261 is our number. Let's see what Robert in Texas has to say. What's up, Robert?
Prostrate, I guess. You know how when you go to the bathroom, you
middle of the night?
Out quicker more than other times, and sometimes you're forced to try to use that muscle and try to make it go faster. Well, I'm having a problem. It doesn't go out fast. It just, I'm just wondering.
You're having a hard time urinating, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, middle of the night? You getting up in the middle of the night?
No, I don't do that.
Okay. Just a little trickle comes out. Sometimes you feel like you got the urge to urinate and nothing comes out, kind of thing?
Well, in the morning I try to use it, and I use it, but I it just doesn't seem like it comes out like a fast flow like normally when I was young.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds like it could be a prostate. Think inflammation. Whenever you have a prostate issue, you want to think inflammation. And as always, whenever you got an inflammation problem, you more than likely have a defensive reaction in the body. Whenever there's inflammation is the flip side of immunity. I'm talking micro-inflammation, small inflammation at the tiniest levels, at the invisible levels. So whenever you have a prostate issue, the first thing you want to think about is anti-inflammatory strategies, keeping things out of the body that are causing inflammation. I'll tell you about some supplements you can use here in a second. But the first thing you want to do with prostate problems is you want to regard it as an inflammatory condition, micro-inflammatory condition, and start to work with foods. Look for symptoms, digestive symptoms. In addition to your prostate symptoms, you want to look for problems, constipation, loose stools, diarrhea, heartburn. Any of this sound familiar, Robert? Gas, bloating, anything like that. Any sound familiar?
well, I don't have any problems with what you were saying, really.
Well, gas, bloating, heartburn, anything. It's unlikely that you. What's that?
No.
All right, well, you got to start paying attention there, okay? Just because we don't notice problems when we first start thinking about them doesn't mean they're not there, because these things go under the radar. If there's smoke, there's fire. Prostate issues mean inflammation, and that's smoke. And you're not going to have any smoke unless there's a fire somewhere, and that means something's getting into your body that's causing this inflammation to occur. And it's almost impossible, you know, Robert, from my listeners who maybe don't have any health issues, the way we conduct our eating business in this country makes it almost impossible not to have inflammatory problems by the time we're in our 4th or 5th decades. It's just not going to happen. Just the way we eat. You know, look at the standard American diet. It's almost impossible to eat non-inflammation-causing foods. And in any case, even after we eat a good meal, even after we eat good foods, there's a temporary inflammatory, there's a temporary rise in inflammatory chemicals. There's something called post-eating or postprandial inflammation that occurs after all meals, let alone the kind of things that we mostly subsist on in this country. So you got to backtrack into digestive problems always. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, the second thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start using supplements for the prostate, and there's a bunch of good ones. Essential fatty acids are very important. In fact, all fats are going to be very important for the prostate, and minerals, which are related to fats. Minerals and fats are both processed by the same kind of system in the body. Prostate problems very often are indicative of some kind of issue with fatty vitamins or essential fatty acids. Get on the Ultimate EFAs. I'd be using 9 of them a day, and I would be using them with meals. Vitamin E can be stupendously helpful for the prostate and the whole male reproductive system, for that matter. 400 international units of vitamin E a day. I like the mixed tocopherol form or the tocotrienol form. Vitamin A can also be helpful for the prostate, 20,000 international units a day or so. And then minerals like zinc, 50 milligrams a day can be important for the prostate. Magnesium can be important for the prostate. Get on the Osteomag from Longevity. And then selenium is also very important for the prostate. I'd be using 600 micrograms a day of the OPC selenium. Hang tight, Robert. A couple more things I want to tell you, and we'll tell you when we come back from our break. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside. We'll be back right after this.
Have you ever noticed how many sick and miserable people there are? I'm serious. I'm talking about people of all ages who have conditions and diseases which affect their quality of life. Most of them seem to have one thing in common: polypharmacy. That is, dependence on multiple prescription drugs with side effects that actually make them sicker and sicker, not healthy. The good news is that people are waking up to the fact that if you supply your body with all of the nutrients it requires, you will feel better, be healthier, and have a better life. It's important to know that Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the most amazing, great-tasting, comprehensive nutritional supplement. Besides supplying all the vitamins our bodies need, it also supplies the necessary minerals that are required for the vitamins to kick in. Look, folks, I'm hooked on it, and I think if you try it, you'll become hooked. This stuff really works. That's why I'm urging you to make it part of your daily health regimen. Visit InfoWarsTeam.com to secure your canister of Beyond Tangy Tangerine today. Sign up for auto ship and save on shipping costs. That's Beyond Tangy Tangerine at InfoWarsTeam.com.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curb appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the total transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
It's hard to imagine when things are going reasonably well just how quickly things can change. But what would it take? Economic collapse, massive crop failure, chemical or biological attack? So many situations could find you in the grocery looking to pick up food for your family only to find that the shelves are empty. There's nothing. Don't let that happen. Act today to make sure that if it ever comes to that, you and your family will be provided for. Visit freezedryguy.com to look at the wide variety of survival foods available. Freeze-dried foods from the Freeze Dry Guy store longer, rehydrate faster, are nutritionally superior to, and taste better than any other long-term storage food available. Visit freezedryguy.com or call toll-free 866-404-3663. freezedryguy.com.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are GCN.
Hi, we are back on the Brightside, and lest you guys think, I'm not a big meat eater myself. I don't eat a lot of meat. In fact, I hardly ever eat any meat. I'm not going to go as far as say I'm a vegetarian, because I probably will eat it occasionally, but I just don't find it appealing. But from a practical standpoint, it's incredibly satisfying. You got to make sure it's good meat, it's quality meat. McDonald's doesn't count. Make sure it's grass-fed, hormone-free, antibiotic-free, and it's just going to be very, very satisfying. That's the way meat is. Somebody just sent me, actually my producer John just sent me an article about a guy, Derek Nance, Nance. He's eaten nothing but raw meat for 5 years. Now that's getting a little carried away, but he seems to be doing well. You might want to Google this guy, Derek Nance. This guy's eaten nothing but raw meat for 5 years. So I'm not a big meat eater, but eggs and whey protein, especially whey protein, man, those are so incredibly satisfying, not to mention great sources of protein. We'll talk about the building blocks of protein here in the next few days. That is amino acids and how they are distinguished from protein. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, but they got their own particular characteristics. A guy named Eric Braverman, Dr. Eric Braverman, has written quite eloquently about how you can use various amino acids to accomplish different therapeutic or medical, to accomplish some medical benefits or health benefits. We'll be talking about these kinds of things, these health benefits associated with amino acids here in the next couple of days. This is distinguished from protein and from smaller proteins called peptides. We'll be talking about that tomorrow and for the next few days. Okay, Robert in Texas. A couple more things I want to tell you about the prostate. Number one, Robert, are you there? Do we have Robert in Texas?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple more things I want to tell you about the prostate. Number one, as I said before, focus on foods, anything that's going to cause inflammation, microinflammation, not big-time inflammation like a swollen ankle or a black eye, microinflammation that you don't even know you have. Anything that's going to cause an immune response, that is foods, you need to be focusing on that. And if you don't know you have any digestive symptoms, look for them. Try to find them. And then nutrients for the prostate. Zinc comes to mind as being the most important of the minerals, and vitamin E comes to mind as the most important of the vitamins, although vitamin C is also very important for the prostate. The prostate contains high amounts of vitamin C. You get all this in the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Magnesium is very important for the prostate. Use the Osteomag. Selenium, OPC selenium, and then MSM sulfur can be helpful for the prostate. And then probably one of the most important nutrients anyway, one that we don't talk a lot about, and it has a lot of benefits for the prostate, is beta-cytosterol. And that's spelled beta, B-E-T-A, cytosterol, S-I-T-O-S-T-E-R-O-L. It is a steroid-like substance that's found in plants, and it's got some tremendous benefits for prostate health, especially for folks who are urinating in the middle of the night. Take 300 to 350 milligrams of the stuff every day. It really is amazing stuff for the prostate. Beta-cytosterol. Some folks like saw palmetto. I personally have not seen great results with saw palmetto, but that's something else that you might want to try as well. Okay, Robert?
Okay, thank you
so much, buddy. Good luck with everything. All right, Mary in Michigan, welcome to the Brightside. What's going on?
Are you speaking to me?
I am speaking to you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
What's up?
Hello, Ben. Got a question for you about taking milk of magnesia with the carbonated water that you talked about some time ago.
Oh, you mean making your own magnesium bicarbonate? That
yeah.
recipe. What did you want to ask me about that?
Well, in shopping, I noticed there are two types of milk of magnesia.
Oh, what do you mean by two types? I didn't know this.
Well, when I looked on the bottle,
there's different brands of milk. You mean brands?
No. When I looked on the bottle of the ingredients, it would be magnesium. I can't remember what they were. Like magnesium chloro something or other. Anyway, is there a specific...
Well, no, it's just plain old milk of magnesia. The problem is milk of magnesia is kind of a crappy product. It's got sugar in it, and sometimes they'll put fake flavorings and NutraSweet and different things to make it taste...
Yeah, okay.
And that's the problem. Magnesium bicarbonate theoretically should be better for you than sodium bicarbonate, but the only way to get magnesium bicarbonate is from milk of magnesia, and then you got to deal with all that stuff in the milk of magnesia. So you're going to have to decide what you want to do. Personally, I would be doing the sodium bicarb and not messing around with the crappy stuff they put in the magnesium milk of magnesia. If you do sodium bicarb, though, make sure you're getting your magnesium from another source. Magnesium is super, super, super important, especially if you're going to be getting all that sodium.
Okay, well, if I'm drinking this recipe, how much? I'm putting like 3 teaspoons in a 1 liter of
3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons?
3 tablespoons of the milk of magnesia.
In half a liter.
No, in a full liter.
In a full liter. Okay, that's okay. All right.
Okay. A little bit less than a full liter.
And if you take milk of magnesia to supposedly reduce your stomach acid, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to drink this when you're eating.
No, absolutely not. No, you don't want to be drinking any bicarbonate while you're eating. That's exactly right. It's going to neutralize the stomach acid. You want to wait until the food's past your stomach, till you've gotten past your meal. Absolutely not. That's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. No, you don't want to do anything to neutralize acid. That's a big problem. That can cause the problems in the first place. So no, you want to make sure that your stomach acid is working as it should. In fact, you want to be acidifying your stomach contents with apple cider vinegar or betaine hydrochloride, which you'll get in the Ultimate Enzymes, by the way.
Right. Okay, now I've got that straight. Now, what would you recommend for a staph infection on the skin?
Well, staph bacteria live on the skin. They're always on the skin. If you have a staph infection, either the staph bacteria has gotten underneath the skin, it's gotten somehow into the blood, or your immune system is not working as well as it should, or a combination of those. So the first thing you want, once you have the infection, you can use something like colloidal silver or Lugol solution. If worse comes to worse, you're going to need an antibiotic, but you want to be very respectful of antibiotics. In fact, staph is one of those bacteria that can become resistant to antibiotics. Hence the MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staph aureus that whole problem. So you want to be really careful about prescription antibiotics. Use Lugol solution, which is an iodine, or colloidal silver, and then you want to be making sure your immune system is doing it what it should be doing. I'm sorry, what were you going to ask me, ma'am?
The Lugol is iodine, right?
Iodine, correct. You can use that internally for the urinary tract or as a source of iodine, and then also you can use it topically to kill things. And then also colloidal silver can do it too. Of course, hydrogen peroxide works, although it's not anywhere near as powerful as Lugols or colloidal silver. All of those are effective topically. But you also want to make sure that your immune system is doing its work. If you do have a bacterial infection, there's a good possibility that you've got a compromised immune system. Right. The immune system operates like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
In other words,
unfortunately, this is my husband's problem, and he eats crappy, and I can't.
Well, you can only do what you can do, Mary. But you just got to understand that there's a connection there. The more stuff your immune system has to process and has to deal with, the less it's going to be able to deal with things like staph. And that's the straw that breaks the camel's back phenomena, or the load phenomena, as Dr. Sherry Rogers calls it.
Right.
By the way, she has a great book called Tired or Toxic, which I don't see, which it's hard to find, but it's a wonderful, wonderful book that talks about the body's ability to process toxins and poisons. And she has come up with a concept she calls immune system load, and that's when the immune system is overloaded with all kinds of other things that it doesn't have the resources that it needs to do to fight the staph bacteria or viruses, or now you see these shingles vaccine commercials. Same idea.
Right.
If you have shingles, you got a compromised immune system. Shingles, viruses, and bacteria, these are opportunistic infections. They wait for us to become weak. So the trick is to not be weak. And the trick to not being weak is to build up the immune system using good nutrition, especially protein, by the way, and vitamin C and micronutrients, and not putting the crap in that makes the immune system, that creates a excess load on the immune system. All right, Mary, got to move on. Anything else I can help you with?
No, that'd be fine. Thank you.
Okay. God bless. Okay, Shirley. Ooh, shoot. I hit the wrong button on Shirley. I'm sorry, but we're pretty much out of time anyway. So, Shirley, if you could call back. I'll tell you what, Shirley, if you call back tomorrow, I'll get you up first thing. Or you can always send me a letter to brightsideletters@gmail.com. I'm slightly behind on my letter returns. Always put your phone number on the letters. You guys are still sending me letters without phone numbers. And then it makes it much easier for me to get back to you. Tomorrow we'll take some letters, I think. And we'll talk a little bit about protein. We'll talk somewhat about protein. I want to tell you about this story of the alchemy of air, how nitrogen is being turned into, how nitrogen is used industrially, how inert atmospheric nitrogen is used industrially. It's kind of a cool story. And then we'll take a letter or two, maybe a Facebook or two, and we'll work backwards. I'll show you how I do this. I think we'll make this a regular feature. I'm sorry, Shirley, that I hung up on you. If you call tomorrow and tell them that I disconnected you accidentally, we'll get you first up. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening, friends. Check out my website, brightsideben.com, and check out the shopping cart we have up there with all the longevity products. You can also check out my blog, pharmacistben.com. We update it regularly, and please join the Brightside Ben team for a one-time $10 fee. You can start yourself a longevity business. The folks at 866-735-2470 can tell you all about it. All right, that's all the time we have for today. We will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful day. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off of your entire order, and give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.